Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of MMA 24/7 Quick Hits. Today we have two guests, and these two guests will happen to be fighting each other August 19th at Johnathan Ivey's Cage Fighting Championships. Number two, our first guest will be Caleb Miller, and then coming on after that is Rakim Talley. You may not know a lot about these guys. They're up-and-comers, so we've heard a lot of great things about both of them. So let's hear what they have to say before they step in the cage August 19th. So let's waste no time. Our first guest, Caleb Miller, fighting Rakim Talley August 19th. How you doing today, Caleb?
I'm doing great, man. I'm cool as a polar bear. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. Let's get into it. You got a 5-2 record. You're an up-and-comer in the sport. What is your background? How did you get into the sport of MMA?
Well, really, man, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say a cliche story, but I grew up pretty rough, man. I mean, I didn't have my mom and dad around and stuff. We grew up in Pennsylvania for the longest, and we were like the only kind of kids in our neighborhood and stuff, so we got picked on. And then when we moved back down to Tennessee, like, I don't know, our grandparents, I was a pretty angry kid, so my nanny and pa knew I had to channel my energy somehow, so they stuck me in football. And I played football for all my life growing up, and then I fell in love with MMA probably when I was maybe a freshman in high school. And then I started training it real hard on the side. I was 15. I had a martial arts gym down in Lebanon called IMA. And I took my first fight, I think maybe when I was 18 at a high school, because I just decided football wasn't for me after I started training that. And once I started doing that, my coach at the time thought it'd be a good idea that I walk on and wrestle in college and get a background. Have a real good solid background from MMA, and it's just kind of been there ever since. Like, it was just something that I picked up and loved from the rip. So I've always kind of had a knack for fighting.
I hear you, man. You have a big fight August 19th. Where have you been training at for this fight?
I'm all around. I spread out. I go to multiple places. Like, I train with a guy that went over and had a little circuit stand in Muay Thai over there in Thailand. His name's Ken Thompson. I work with him some, and then I worked in February. Back in February, I was working with Fred DeLay a lot. He's got a son, Austin DeLay, is a really good up-and-coming pro boxer. And then, of course, I got Warren Grace, who's my jiu-jitsu instructor. That's like, that's my main guy. He's my main dude, but he's mainly my jiu-jitsu guy. He's who I fight for out of in Lebanon. And then I got a strength conditioning program by this girl named Dom Jacoy. She runs this place out in the Nashville Athletic Club called CrossFit Silver Dragon, and I've been working out with her and her crew for a little bit, and they've been pushing me pretty good, getting me pretty ready for this fight. So I'm just kind of all around, man. I just kind of put it all together. So I
see you stretching out a little bit, getting a little bit of everything in. What do you think of your opponent Rakim and his skill set?
I like the style of Rakim, and I've seen Rakim fight, I've seen Rakim wrestle. I think me and him match up really well. He likes to throw straight punches. He's tall. He's got kind of like a karate stance. He's got a wrestling background, so I'm not going to go in. I know he probably thinks I'm going to wrestle him real hard. I'm not going to go in wrestling him too hard. I'm going to go in and fill it out with him, and I'm going to pick him apart, and that's my goal. So, but I respect him, man. I really like Mary and Jose, who run that camp out there. They put on a great show. They're very classy people. They put out classy fighters. I don't expect Rakim to be unsportsmanlike or anything like that. I expect him to fight me clean, fight me fair, and I'm just happy to share the ring with him, man. He comes from a respectable camp. I'm sure he's a respectable guy, so we'll see how it goes down. But make no mistake about it, when we shut that door, I'm getting brutal with him.
Do you have any predictions for the fight?
No. I mean, I predict I'm going to win. I mean, you can bet your ass on that. But other than that, man, I think it's going to be really exciting. I know anybody that's watched me fight knows anything about me. I come and fight fast-paced, hard. I don't start off slow. I come out and I'm ready to go. So I just predict that. I predict my instincts to let this fight play out how it should. I'm putting in the work, putting in the time, and I'm just ready to erase that last one, which was I just want to get that last one out of my mind, man. That shit was a fluke. So.
All right, Caleb, I'm going to let you have the floor for the last part of the interview. Any sponsors, training partners, anyone you want to shout out, here's the time. Let's hear it, my man.
Oh, yeah, man. I just want to thank, of course, Warren. He's always let his gym be open to him with open arms, man. He's always supported me and been there for me just in my life in general and gave me direction and advice. And, all my training partners and my family especially, man, like my brother and, my nanny and my pa and, my mom, just everybody that's behind me pushing me. I just want to thank them. I want to thank Guerrilla Warfare for backing me and giving me some love and some sponsor. I want to thank, CrossFit Silver Dragon for letting me come in, welcome me with open arms, pushing me. I want to thank, I got a friend, Anthony Kearns, that, man, gave me some gear when, dude, I didn't have nothing. I'm out here just struggling, scrapping, trying to make it, so he gave me some gear. I just want to give him some love. And just anybody else, man, that's super close. They know who they are, and they're excited to see me back. They've been waiting. I'm tired of waiting, so we're going to get in here and get it popping and let it roll. So I'm ready. And I'm going to get that belt, too, by the way. Let me put that out. I'm going to get that belt. So let's just put that out there.
There he is. Caleb Miller fighting August 19th. Johnathan Ivey's Cage Fighting Championships. Number 2, he'll be in the co-main event in a huge middleweight scrap. Thanks for joining us today, Caleb.
Oh, yeah, you know it.
We're just a few moments out from hearing from his opponent, Rakim Talley, who brings a 4-0 record to the cage against Caleb Miller's 5-2. Should be a great scrap. 2 hot prospects. And you know what? Let's stop talking about it and let's hear from the man himself. I'd like to welcome Rakim Talley to the MMA 24/7 Quick Hits show. Thanks for joining us today, Rakim.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For those listeners out there who don't know much about you, how did you get involved in MMA and what's your background?
Well, I've been wrestling for a long time. Obviously, I've been watching the sport for a long time. So, I mean, it was just a matter of time before I was able to cross over. But no stranger to competing, so.
You're stepping in the cage with a very tough customer in Caleb Miller on August 19th. What do you think of his skill set overall?
I don't really know much. I don't really know much on the guy, other than he is seasoned, which is great for me because, like I said, I'm fairly young in the sport and I'm looking to improve. So the more challenge I can get, so I'm really looking forward to the fight.
Now, where have you been training at for this fight?
Warriors Den in Dixon. We got a pretty solid camp here.
Now, you're 4-0 with 4 finishes. Do you feel like your fight with Caleb Miller will go the same way?
Honestly, yes, but I mean, it's not that I look for the finish. I'm, like I said, I'm just more so happy to be competing. And if that's just where the fight goes, I'm ready really in all aspects, whether on the feet or the ground. But yeah, I mean, obviously the grappling and the ground is my bread and butter, but like I said, I'm more prepared for anywhere it goes.
Before we let you go, Rakim, I'm going to let you have the floor. Any sponsors, training partners, friends, anyone you want to give a shout out to, the floor is yours, my man.
Okay, well, first off, I just want to thank my gym, Warriors Den, and all of my training partners there for helping me get prepared for my fight. Want to wish my opponent luck and just really looking forward to, like I said, competing.
There he is. Thanks, Rakim.
All right, thank you.
There you have it, August 19th. Johnathan Ivey's Cage Fighting Championships number 2 co-main event. Our guest Caleb Miller versus Rakim Talley. And I'd like to thank you all for listening to this edition of MMA 24/7 Quick Hits. I'm your host, Johnny Brown. Be sure to give us a like on Facebook, MMA 24/7. Also, check out the video description for some more information about the event going down August 19th and our 2 competitors we interviewed. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for listening and have a great day.